Hi, everyone. I'm retired meteorologist Pat Prokop, and today is Saturday, December 29th. Now, warmer weather is now beginning to move into the region on the heels of some moisture as well. We still have the clouds flowing across the area. Now, just to the west of us in the southern Mississippi River Valley, there is a large area of severe weather with severe thunderstorms and even some tornadoes in that area there. And that whole system is sliding off toward the east and will be in our area on Sunday. But behind that, the temperatures will still remain mild for the rest of the year. Up and through Tuesday, we're going to see temperatures in the 70s, and then a dry cold front will be passing on through, cooling temperatures back into the 60s, lower 60s for the high, and the upper 30s for the low, which is about normal for this time of the year. But then much colder weather will be following that for the next week as a strong surge of cold air, possibly an Arctic blast, could flow into the region right around the 14th or 12th of January. All right, and also one other thing, and talking about cold weather, the Earth will be closest to the sun coming up in a few days. We're going to talk all about that. Right now, let's take a look at we had some rain this morning across the coastal areas of upper southeastern Georgia and southern South Carolina and into eastern South Carolina. This green area here, that's a band of over 2 inches of rain that was measured this morning in the area. Over here at my location, the radar says I only had about 3/4 of an inch of rain or so. However, I measured over 1.5 inches of rain. So the radar might be off a little bit, but anyway, still a lot of rain did fall earlier this morning. Let's take a look at the current radar right now. And not showing too much going on around here, so that's the good news. All the activity is well off to the west of us. Now, let's take a look at the jet stream first of all, and it is getting rather strong right now. There's rivers of air out in the Pacific Ocean, and that's going to be bringing in lots of moisture to the western portion of the United States. This wave right over here in the southern Mississippi River Valley is generating that area of severe weather. How severe? Well, in Dermont, Arkansas, late this morning, they had hail the size of baseballs, 2 3/4 of an inch in diameter, and just up the road in Halley, Arkansas, the same size hail pelted cars, destroying car windows in that region from the severe thunderstorms. And those storms are still ongoing right now. This system will be moving eastward into our area throughout the late morning hours on Sunday into Sunday afternoon. Now, this wave out here, that's going to be generating a cold front that comes into the area by the middle and end of next week. But this stronger system out here in the Pacific Ocean, way out to the west of Hawaii right now, that is probably going to generate that very strong cold wave that could affect our area the following week in about 12 days from now. All right, let's take a look at the advisories across the country. Most of it is over here in the south central portion of the country. They got winter storm watches and warnings out in the west, and they're going to be still getting moderate to heavy rains out in the northwest portion of the country as those rivers of air flow into that region. Not much going on across the east right now, but in the south central portion of the country, these are tornado watches that are in effect for the southern portions of the United States, southern Mississippi River Valley, eastern portions of Texas, into across Louisiana and into Mississippi with that system advancing eastward. All right, let's take a look at the conditions across our area right now, the maps. Yeah, I can find them. There they are. And there is a threat of severe thunderstorms this afternoon into Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening across that area where the tornado watches are in effect. Now, this whole system is going to be advancing eastward. It's going to weaken a little bit, but still strong enough to give us the possibility of severe thunderstorms throughout the late morning and early afternoon hours to mid-afternoon hours on Sunday across just about all of Georgia, northern portions of Florida, all of South Carolina, and a large portion of central North Carolina. The main threat for our area will be, the possibility of some hail, not that big size like baseballs, but there could be some hail associated with these. But the main threat will be strong, damaging winds perhaps in excess of 60 miles per hour could be associated with these thunderstorms that could develop and move into our area. I said could. The chances are high, but they're not exactly 100%. All right, let's take a look at some of the forecast models. And the high-resolution model here shows that area of showers and thunderstorms over in the lower Mississippi River Valley advancing eastward, and that's where the threat of severe weather the remainder of Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening exists. As that system moves eastward, the squall line stays intact, and by sunrise on Sunday, right there, it'll be into from northeastern Georgia to southwestern Georgia, advancing eastward. Some showers will be riding ahead of it, so we could see some showers early Sunday morning and into mid-Sunday morning across southeastern Georgia and southern South Carolina. But that its system advances eastward, it's showing signs of weakening a little bit, and it should. It usually does, because it's starting to meet stabilization from the cooler waters of the Atlantic Ocean just offshore. But the system is quite strong, and as it moves eastward, it still has a chance for generating some strong storms. These could be all very strong thunderstorms that could generate those 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with it. But right now, it looks like moderate strong winds could be associated with these thunderstorms and some rain, probably less than a half-inch of rain because the system will be moving so fast. This is by 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon, and then going into the evening hours, a few scattered showers lingering behind it. And then by sunset, right here, the showers are just about over, and we're going to start seeing some clearing weather in behind that. What's behind that? Well, let's take a look at the bigger picture, the global forecast system here. And it shows that system moving eastward, advancing across the area. Well, let's pause a little bit here and go into New Year's Eve. You know, New York City, the big ball drop is going on, will be going on back then. And now it looks like rain moving on in. This is for Monday. Let's see. Let's go into Tuesday evening. Let's see. Tuesday right here. 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. This storm system here, this will be at 7 o'clock on New Year's Eve. There's New York City right there. And there's the rain right there. Let's go. It goes in 6 hours increments. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be raining in Manhattan and for the ball drop for New Year's Eve in New York City. Oh, well, they can handle it. It's not snow. It'll be rain. That's the good news. It's not going to be very cold. But starting to see some cold air wrapping around this system. And as we go into January 1st, we see some of that cold air sliding southward. It'll be chilling down just a little bit in our area. Actually back to about normal highs in the lower 60s, lows around 40, and then continue just cool, normal temperatures for the first week of January. But then another storm system starts to develop, and that's showing signs of bringing, looks like a major snowstorm up in the Great Lakes states, and this is for Monday, January 6th. So that's a week and a half, or week and about 10 days from now. And then a surge of cold air starts flowing in behind that. But look what happens. The models continue to see the cool air and chilly air flow across the area. But then it's showing a storm system developing off the mid-Atlantic coastal states and then moving northward. And this, if this happens, this will be drawing down some extremely cold air across the southeast United States. Actually, the eastern third of the country would be in a severe cold wave with this system. And a lot of snow and all that would be associated with it, but most of that will be to the north of us. And most of it will be offshore as this system gets going. But this is for Sunday, January 12th. So that's a week from tomorrow. So that's 2 weeks. 2 weeks? 2 weeks from tomorrow, 14 days, 15 days from now. So you have to keep an eye on this. Now, one saving note that I know from my experiences over the last 40 years in this area, the models, when they go out this far in time, that's what, 354 hours, they have a tendency to over amplify these systems. So chances are it won't be quite severe of a cold system as this is indicating, but the potential is there, and the other models are showing it as well. Now, the ECMWF, I don't think it's in yet. It's not, but let's look at last night's run. It'll show it as well. And let's go back over to that time period, and there you can see it's doing the same thing. It's bringing it in. This is for a little bit earlier, Friday, January 10th, going into that weekend of January 12th, it looks very, very cold. Both of these models now are indicating a surge of polar or even Arctic air to flow into the region. All right, quick look at the forecast, calling for, the clouds and a couple rays of sun, but a pretty good chance for showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, and then clearing off on Monday. 71 degrees on Monday, 75 on New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve in Savannah in the southeast states, Hilton Head Island, Bluffton. It's going to be nice. Temperatures will be mild. Overnight lows will be dropping down into the 40s. And then on Wednesday, New Year's Day, we're starting to chill down just about normal for this time of the year, with middle 60s and middle 30s for the high and the low. And then in the upper 50s for, excuse me, for Thursday and Friday. But more importantly, the outlook for the next 6 weeks is calling for that surge of cold air to flow in. So January 9th through 11th, or January 5th through 11th, we'll see below normal weather conditions, temperature-wise, below normal again for week number 3, and then moderating a bit and becoming above normal by the end of January, going into early February, and then also February 2nd through the 8th, indications will be above the normal. But we'll definitely, looks like, have our winter season, basically the first full and second weeks of January as that surge of cold air moves on in. Have you been noticing the sun setting later and later in the evening hours? It's setting about 25 seconds earlier, later each day. And that's good. The afternoons are getting a little bit on the longer side, but the mornings are remaining dark. The sun rises right now at 7:24 Savannah time, but by January 7th, it'll be rising even later. That's the latest the sunrise. That'll be at 7:26 Savannah time. Now, for every 19 miles west, you add 1 minute. So Statesboro will be about 5 or 6 minutes later. But anyway, 7:26 is the latest sunrise, and that doesn't occur until January 7th, and it'll hold that area at that time for a while. Then it slowly starts setting earlier and earlier each morning thereafter. And this is because the Earth right now is at perihelion. Yeah, the Earth is closest to the sun right now, and it'll reach its closest approach on January 4th. We call that perihelion, and it'll be at a distance of about 92.5 million miles, or 91.5 million miles. The average distance from the sun and the Earth is just under 93 million miles. And by July 4th, I think July 3rd, it'll be at aphelion, its farthest distance from the sun, and that'll be about 94.5 million miles away. But anyway, why is it winter when we're closer to the sun? Well, it's because of the tilt of the axis of rotation. We're looking away from the sun right now, and the sun's rays are glancing on the northern hemisphere. Then again, on the southern hemisphere, they're having their summer right now. Anyway, I'd like to thank all my supporters who have become members of this station or have joined my Patreon page or have provided super thanks. Thank you, all of those helping to support my page. And also, I just made another video of the night skies coming up in January. If you want to take a look, if you have a pair of binoculars or if you just received a small telescope for Christmas perhaps, or Hanukkah, you could look through those telescopes and see some beautiful objects up in the sky. The planets and the nebulae are shining brightly up in the skies. And this video, have it right over here at the end. It will show you all of those that you would like to see. It's just a good-looking video. Just to top it off, just look at the video. Okay, well, thanks all. And keep an eye on the weather for tomorrow, Sunday, because it could get rather wild here in southeastern Georgia and southern South Carolina. With all that, stay safe. See ya.